Hey family, my name is Chris, I am your home gamer dad, and I welcome you to a very special session of Mega Man Adventures as I continue my journey through Mega Man 1. We have defeated all 6 robot masters. Well, 3 on camera, 3 off camera, but they all have been beaten down the line. We have all of their special weapons. All of our crew got involved, so that is awesome. So that means it's time to jump into Wily's castle and take on the bosses in a typical Mega Man boss rush. Now, this is a little bit different than what's in the actual game, like the instruction manual, but I will go over what exactly I am doing once we get to the table. The rules I came up with for the boss rush really don't take too much away from the main game. There's still lots of dice roll, there's still lots of interaction between players, and to show that, I'm actually going to be doing this as a 2-player journey through the boss rush. So that's why I have Protoman and Rush up here. Mega Man and Roll is for the next episode. So, once we get down to the table, I'm going to explain how boss rush works for 1, 2, 3, and 4 players. Use the chapter selects down below in the little timestamps and everything like that to get to a spot that you want to look at, you know, so you don't want to have to jump through everything else. You can watch it all. That'd be awesome. That's great. But you can either watch all those or you can jump right to the actual session. Either way works for me. We got a whole lot of things to go through today, and it's going to be so awesome. I can't wait. The problem with Mega Man 1 is that there is no real boss room. So I don't really have much of a transition to get into that, but I think this will work pretty well. And I'm saving Wily for the next episodes. That's why you don't see that right now. Anywho, ready and start. All right, so here we are. I have the setup for the boss rush mode. Basically, it's set up almost exactly like you would in the normal game. You know, you have your health, you have your tokens, you have your weapon energy. Everyone goes in because this is now technically the Wily stage. Everyone should have 3 weapons that they can bring into battle. And whenever you start the boss rush, you determine between all the players who's carrying what weapons. And if there's more than, 2 players, then all the other weapons will be distributed as well. But I honestly, if you're going to be doing 4 players through a set path like Mega Man 1, 2, 3, only go with the weapons you earn and the starter weapons. So if you have 3 players, then at least everyone would have 3. But if you had 4 players, then you're going to have to figure out a little bit better of a way to divvy out all of the stuff because you only have these weapons here plus these. You would technically have 2 more if you were in Mega Man 2 and 3 because they have 8 Robot Masters. So still everyone, I believe, would get 3. It'd be 3 even exactly. So you have to figure out who gets what and where. There is no switching of special weapons in the boss rush mode or when you go fight Wily later. So keep that in mind. Your weapons are your weapons. As far as the Robot Masters go, I shuffled them and they are placed right here next to the full stack of boss pattern cards. These are just shuffled and placed here face down. You're not doing the face up thing like we did with all the other stuff. This is just to keep things a little bit more random in terms of their pattern wise so you don't see what's coming next. Later Mega Mans, the bosses, when you fight them again, their patterns change a little bit. So that's kind of what this represents a little bit, the changing of their patterns. But you still know the weaknesses, you still know their basic things. So every Robot Master you fight in a 2 and 1 player game, you're only doing 3 patterns apiece. Ignore the number here, you're only doing 3 patterns. That's it. Just 3. If you're going to do 3 and 4 players, I would probably recommend just doing whatever the number is there. Actually, for 3 players, I would stick with 4 for everyone. Even if it says 5, do 4 anyway. And if it's 4 players, just do 5 just to make it a little, or not 5. Just read the number and just do it from there. Just to make it a little bit more challenging in that way. Because once you have more players, it does become easier. So, as far as the way that the boss rush will work, you start with your first boss. You do all of your normal stuff. You draw your 4 cards, you talk amongst each other, you place them into your sport slots. Because I'm in, 2-player mode, and this works for 1-player mode as well, you draw your 4 light cards, and then if you're in a 1-player mode, you decide which 2 you want to use. If you're in 2-player mode, you figure out which one each player gets, and you'll see me do that through here. Once you determine your cards that go into your support and your skill, you then determine who goes first. This is actually the first player marker that comes with the game. I don't think I showed this off yet, but it's pretty cool. So you want to give this to whoever you want to start the boss rush. In this case, I'd give it to Protoman. In that case, then, we would go at it. The first one would flip, and then we would roll our dice. So then Protoman would go roll, 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 figure out what he has over on the side, and then go through this like normal. He would actually do all the engaging stuff. He would follow the boss patterns, all that thing. So he would do 1, flip that over, 2, flip that over, 3. He has fought 3 boss cards, boss pattern cards. He has then beaten Cutman. Awesome. If he did not earn a mystery box during his fight, which here he probably did. He probably earned at least 1. He could have earned 2, actually. But if he earned 0 mystery boxes during his fight with Cutman, he would be allowed to open 1. This is because in later Mega Mans, whenever you beat a boss during the boss rush, they dropped health and various things like that. I'm not going to guarantee to give everybody health back because that would just be crazy. But you could at least open 1 mystery box. You're guaranteed to always open at least 1 mystery box if you're going through boss rush mode. And I'm going to leave that as the rule for 1, 2, 3, and 4 player games. You beat the boss. If you do not open up one of these, you can. Beat Cutman. You can then move him out of the way and see who your next opponent is. From there, because we are in 2-player mode, the 1-player token then bounces over here. So now it is Rush's turn to go up against Elikman. So we can switch that over, and boom. So now Rush is going to do that. He's going to roll his dice, boom, 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 and then do 1, 2, 3. Beats Elikman. Awesome. If he didn't open up a mystery box, he can open up one at the end of the fight. Now that Rush has beaten Elikman and every person has had a turn, this is when you reset the board. So then again, you draw 4 more, you do all this stuff and everything, yada, yada, yada. Except now, going up against Iceman, Rush will start. So it's a ping pong effect. One person goes, then the next. And it starts with them, and then it goes to the next. And it bounces back and forth between the 2 of them until there are no more Robot Masters left. And that's basically the boss rush, going through that pretty much as fast as you can, bouncing back and forth, knocking them down and everything. And you will end up probably going through this entire stack. Actually, you will go through this entire stack. So there's only 6 Robot Masters in Mega Man 1. This works with 8 Robot Masters. And I was trying to figure out a way to get this to work with 8. And I know what to do. Before I do that, just a continuation here, you're going to get down to only 1 boss pattern card left once you get down to the final Robot Master. Whoever fights this final Robot Master will have to do 4. So you're going through literally the entire stack of boss pattern cards. And you'll see me do that as I play. So it's 3 per Robot Master, but that last one will have a 4th one because you're just going to go straight through them all. Now then, as I said, you would do 3 cards per Robot Master, which works out perfectly if there are 8 Robot Masters, hence what it would be in Mega Man 2 and 3. If you come over here to the camera with me, you see we have Time Man and Oil Man right here. This is a fan-made expansion. Thank you, Scott Eaton, for doing this. He's made a ton of other fan-made expansions for other games. He was a co-designer for Codename Duets, I believe. You know, he's an awesome guy. I chatted with him a little bit. He's really, really cool. And he put together a full fan-made Time Man, Oil Man expansion, which is in the link down below. I highly recommend downloading it because it's really cool to add to the game. And this, pretty much his explanation is, and I completely agree with it, these 2 will never actually appear in this game because there was never any 8-bit sprites of them. These are like his creations. So I doubt Capcom will ever give those rights. And if they do, awesome. So I don't know how, but that'd be great. But as you can see, they each have their own unique abilities, and they also have their own stages. Time Man is basically a 4th challenge. You have to do a jump or else you suffer damage. We've seen that with runs and shoots already. And then Oil Man's is if you roll 2 or more shoots, you suffer damage. So we've seen both of these already, just in different versions in other Robot Masters, so it fits in very well, and it works for these particular characters. His expansion also has additional special weapons, which I can't make because I don't have the cards stock, and I'm just not very good at that. These are just kind of on, like in, what is it? They're in things with a Magic the Gathering card in order to give it stability, but hey, it works. So yeah, so if you want to add those to your game, I highly, highly recommend it. Plus then this makes Mega Man 1 an 8 Robot Master game, which is perfect for the boss rush. So I'm going to add these two into the stack, and then we'll just continue on. All right, so you have 8 Robot Masters in here. For a 2-player game, you're bouncing back and forth. Each person is going to tackle their own, so there's going to be 4 apiece. In a 1-player game, that 1 player is going to go through the whole stack by themselves, and every 2 Robot Masters they fight is when they re-roll their dice. So this would be, again, you beat it. If you didn't open up a mystery box, go for it. Beat it. If you didn't open up a mystery box, go for it. Roll your dice. Beat it. Same thing. Beat it. Roll your dice, etc., 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 all the way down to the bottom. So that's how a 1-player game would go with this. Moving on to a 3- and 4-player game. I'm just going to kind of put these guys right here just as a whatever. 4 is very easy because 4 works the same way as a 2-player. You're going to run through all 8 Robot Masters, but this time everyone's only going to defeat 2 of them. And again, I would just recommend using whatever their actual boss pattern thing is here. You're going to have to reshuffle this, which is fine. But then the trick is whoever is first gets to choose who goes second. So after Rush defeats Cutman, he would then choose which one of the other players goes next. So then Mega Man will go. And then Mega Man would choose one of the other 2 who didn't go. So then he'd choose Protoman. Protoman would go. And then he would have to pivot this over to Roll. She would then go, defeating Fireman. Everyone would re-roll, and then Roll would start the next round going through the final 4. Again, choosing where she wants it to go. In a 3-player game, so let's just remove Roll here, it's the same exact thing as a 4-player game. Whoever starts first fights the first Robot Master, boom, and then they bounce it over to somebody else, boom, bounce it over here, boom, and then this is when you would re-roll the dice after everyone has taken a turn. But, as you know, even by going through 8 Robot Masters, one person isn't going to have an actual third turn. For a 3-player game, and this only happens in a 3-player game, you choose randomly one of the 4 Wily bosses for the particular Mega Man game you're going through. Every Mega Man game, 1, 2, and 3, all have 4 Wily bosses at the end. You're going to pick one of these randomly, you're going to put it on the bottom stack, and whoever is the very last player will have to fight this Wily boss. You flip it over, you fight whatever it is, and then you have beaten the boss Rush. This actually works well for when you go up against Wily, because then there's only 3 Wily bosses left, so it is a one-time shot for a 3-player game. Whereas a 1, 2, or 4-player game, there's 4 stacks here. Again, you have 4, so whoever starts first can then choose, boom, 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 and everyone fights 1. Hooray, you win the day. 2 players, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then a single player goes straight down. And again, a single player for a Wily boss, and I'll explain this tomorrow, or in the next video. I say tomorrow, but it's really when I do the Wily fight. They re-roll after everyone because you're doing the full boss pattern on all of these. Final thing before going into it, no E-tanks. If you manage to have collected an E-tank prior to coming into this, or you didn't use it from your stage runs and everything, yeah, bring it in. By all means, you saved it, you didn't use it, you've earned it. You do not regenerate any E-tanks for this or the Wily fights. This is strictly running off of what you can do with your weapon energy and trying to mitigate damage through dice rolls and making sure nothing goes too crazy. So no E-tanks are allowed in this unless, again, you've earned it. So that pretty much covers everything. So again, a rundown. Everybody will get an equal amount of turns fighting Robot Masters. If you're doing a 3-player game, you need to put a bottom card of a Wily boss. This way everybody gets an equal amount of turns fighting, Robot Masters, and then whatever the 9th fight is. A single player game will fight all 8, which could take a while, but you re-roll your dice after every 2. In a 1 and 2 player game, you're drawing 3 boss patterns. In a 3 player game, you're going to draw 4 boss patterns. And in a 4 player game, you're just going to follow whatever the number is there and go from there. And I think that is it. I played through this on 2 player and it worked very well. I don't have many 3rd players or whatever, and I didn't feel like running 3 hands. So that still might be a little bit of a tweak. Anybody out there that wish to do that, please let me know. You can find me Home Gamer Dad on BGG. You can put it down here in the comments, wherever you want to go. But I think it's time we do this. I shuffled all the bosses. I shuffled all the boss patterns. It's time to go ahead and fight these robots. Here we go. All right, so here are the first 4 Protoman cards that I drew on my wonderful Proto Shield. Nuclear core, number 01, and then of course we have his special symbol up here, red, yellow, and then you take a damage. I have to remember this because I was watching back in some of my Protoman playthroughs, and I keep forgetting to take the damage from this. That's the point of this card. You roll 2 dice, you take a damage, so that's a thing. And here we are with rushes for starting cards. This is actually awesome because these are great cards to just throw in the right support to go to Protoman. So this way he can roll whatever the heck he wants because this is the boss rush. You don't know what they're going to be doing. And then these rescues are even better to put down in the skills because once again, we're in boss rush. You have no idea what they're doing. I wish I didn't see this early because we may need some health later, but I wish I had seen one of each actually, or another rush yet, because I'm not a big fan of this particular one. This and this are absolutely amazing. And now we're going to be putting up the light cards. Now remember, this is a 2-player game, so each character is only going to be able to choose one of these in order to be able to use. It'll go on their far end slots here. As you can see, it makes it a lot easier because if I was just using like Rush or just Protoman, I'm limited to the 4 cards I draw and then whatever 4 cards came up on light. At least in this situation, I can plan a little bit better and say, okay, so I don't really have any yellow or what do I need? Or I have too many yellows for Protoman. He's only looking for blues and reds. Hey, guess what? I have a blue for Protoman. I could use that and take one of these. So then I can leave the rest for Rush, who has a much bigger spread in order to be able to use. So this is how I have my starting hands. We do get to see whatever the first card is here. It is 2 shoots, and of course, Cutman needs a jump and a run for every skull. So let's hope these first 3 cards do not have any skulls in it. All right, it looks a little crowded, but here we are, our first round of dice. Got for Protoman, rolling anything he wants, a red and a yellow. I'm going to take this damage right now before anything else goes through. And then a blue and a red with a yellow in his boost card reserve. He also has the Proto Shield. I am in the planning phase right now, planning through this. I am actually going to spend a weapon energy for the rolling cutter in order to gain a token of any type. And I am going to gain a jump. So this way I always have a jump ready to activate my Proto Shield to reduce damage by 2. Just helps out so much. When it's Rush's turn, he'll be able to do blue, red, any color, and then of course red, yellow, and take a damage as well. But that'll be on Rush's turn. Let's go ahead and roll these dice for Protoman and start our journey through the boss rush. So I decided to make the any color dice a blue dice because I have a yellow in reserve, and I know that I need, what do I need? I need jumps and runs for the skulls, but I also need 2 shoots, so we'll see what we get. All right, so we got run, jump, and a single shoot, which doesn't really, I mean, it's a thing, but I definitely need another shoot. All right, well then, if we're here, let's go ahead and just do it. Let's use the jump token here to use the Proto Shield and tank the 2 damage here. Boom, boom, nothing happens. Beautiful, flip that, and here we go. Now we're on 2 runs. So I actually have 2 runs here, which is very, very good. So I'm going to go ahead and spend these 2 in order to do card number 3, which is awesome. And then boom. All right. So we need jump, run in order to be able to get past this. And when I do, I'll be able to use open up a mystery box. So I think I am going to roll this yellow dice in hopes for a run because I have jump, jump, shoot right now. Not very helpful. I could have saved this for Rush to give it to him in case he needed it for something, but I think right now it would be smarter to use it for Protoman. And we got the run. That is great. So we do jump, jump, run, and that does it. Yeah, it requires two icons. Oh, wait a minute. I'm thinking the wrong thing. Wait a minute. I need jump, jump, jump. That's what I need. Oh, I'm reading this wrong. I am sorry. So in that case, then, I thought that was a skull. I was reading it wrong. I'm actually going to spend another weapon energy, and I am going to, I'm just going to leave it. I could roll it back and say I never rolled this, but I'm just going to say it anyway, just because it was my mistake. Spend this dice to give myself a jump and a shoot token, and then I am going to spend this jump along with these two jumps right here to overcome this, like so. And that gives Protoman a weapon energy back. So that works. Awesome. Very, very good. So Protoman has beaten Cutsman, which is great. We'll now reset and get ourselves ready for the next Robot Master for Rush to take down. All right, Rush, here we go. You are going up against Oil Man. Reroll a run or suffer a damage. Oh boy. And he gets an immediate engage by either he gets to lose a weapon energy or a token, or and then he has a jump and has to do suffer 1 damage, which he is suffering 1 damage already from this. So I'm going to do blue, red, red, yellow, and I think I'm going to do this as a blue as well, just to have some extra jumps just in case. We have a yellow here, and then of course I can always regain health. So let's see what we get. 5 dice in the tray. All right, cool. So we do have a shoot. So that's good. We can have the shoot in order to be able to activate Oil Man's ability. So actually, why don't we swap this because Rush is engaging right now. We'll move this over so we all know. And boom, Rush needs to get rid of one of these. I'm going to get rid of the super arm. I'm then going to take this shoot right here and re-roll it, which gives me another shoot. That is awesome. So I got rid of the special weapon energy to cover this. I'm going to spend this jump to defeat the first one. Very good. That wasn't a mystery box. Flip. That's great. All right, so I got to lose another weapon energy. These are always fun to have. And I have to roll a shoot in order to not suffer the damage. And I got a run. So I didn't suffer the damage, but I am in a bit of a thing here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend this weapon energy like so. I'm going to earn a red dice with the shoot icon in it, and I'm going to prevent 1 damage because of the firestorm, so I can bypass this. Boom, I don't take the damage. Lastly, we have a shoot and a run. I do need to roll this run again, which gives me a jump, which is not fun. I'm going to spend this weapon energy to give me a shoot token. I will then spend that in order to spend this run. But before any of that also happens, I'm going to spend this weapon energy to regain our health by 1. And that covers Rush's run and our first round of play. So at the end of that last round, Rush did not actually open up a single mystery box for his run against Oil Man. So that means he does earn 1 mystery box. So he gets a jump token. So that's fine. He'll gain that, and he'll be able to use that for the upcoming Robot Master, which is Iceman. So now he is going to go up against Iceman. Let's go ahead and throw down their cards and see where this round takes us. Protoman seems very similar to the last round, just like set amount of like certain colors that seem to be repeating, and then pretty good amount of special skills. I'm not a big fan of the reckless. I'm still not a big fan of this damage thing here, but in certain situations like this, having the extra dice is very good. The challenge here, of course, is if you didn't have that extra dice, but he'd have other ways of doing that. So, hey, it's a Proto Shield. You know how much I love my Proto Shields. And as far as Rush goes, I am not super happy with this because these two appear twice, and I wish that these showed up closer to the end of the deck, so I had some healing options. I know there's still one more in there. Same thing for these guys. There's still one more in the deck somewhere, but I wish these showed up a little bit later, just to have, or even just one per round would have been great. But hey, it's still good versatile use, and you know, maybe I can throw some tokens his way or something. I don't know. We'll see what Light needs. All right, Dr. Light is looking for... All right, and here we go. So Iceman is in need of... Well, he does the token. So actually, it's really not that bad that Rush got this jump token right away, because that's something that'll be able to cover if a skull happens to pop up, which we haven't seen really many skulls yet, so they're coming up soon. As far as Protoman goes, anything that gives him more viable dice is great. He has the red and blue for those. Rush has a better ability to take the yellow for the red. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll go from there. Now that we're on round 2 of this, you got to really start thinking about how you want to maintain your special weapon energy. Because as you can see with Rush, he is not doing very well. He's kind of lost a bit. So let's see what we can do here. All right, family, here we go. Here's my layout for round 2. I forgot to flip this over to see what I'm going with. Run and a jump. All right, so that's pretty good. It doesn't have anything to do with the skull. I do have the jump token, but I'm going to save that token just in case. I am in the planning phase, but I'm not going to spend the weapon energy here for Protoman to get this. I could always do a Thunder Beam later if I need to, but that'll be on his turn. For now, I think I'm going to roll a red, a blue, and a yellow. We do have any dice here, which is great in case I need it. Always have the Hyper Bomb. Well, I don't always have. I have 2 left. And then worst case scenario, the Rush Jet. So yeah, let's roll it. Here we go. All right, we got a run, a shoot, and a shoot. I got no jumps whatsoever. So maybe I am going to use that token right off the hop. Because, you know, it's hopping. You know, you hop and then boom, that's that. So I'm going to use this token that he got, and then I will use this red run here in order to say done. So that's the first one finished. Flip. See, here we go. Now we have the skull. Of course, I don't have my weapon energy back. So what I'm going to do is, all right, so I'm going to take the damage. Ouch. And I'm going to, so these 2 tokens may freely be distributed among the players. I am going to take the run and I'm going to give the jump to Protoman. This is how you do teamwork, everyone. And that's going to do that, which means I can then spend this run here and this token, and that overcomes this particular one, which is great. So that's 2 down and 1 to go, which is a run and a jump. I don't have any of that, but do I want to spend my weapon energy? I'm going to spend it. I'm going to spend this weapon energy, and I'm going to use my Hyper Bomb. So I'm going to do 1, 2. This is a weight, so it's 2 of the same symbol, and that enables me to roll 3 of, you know, 1 of each color. So hopefully, luck be in my favor, I get a run and a jump in the opposite colors, but you know what? I'll take it. Let's spend it to say done. And I did not open up a mystery box amongst all of those. So Rush's mystery box that he gets this time is a shoot token. That's fine. Okay, that's great. He has lots of shoot stuff here. The super armor to give him that, and the firestorm gives him something. So let's go ahead and move this over, re-engage with Protoman, and start him up. Here we go. Time Man. Time Man is fun because his is once you overcome a particular card. So once I overcome this boss pattern, I turn 1 yellow dice to its double run face if able. So if I had a shoot and I overcame this with 2 jumps, this would jump right to a double run, which is awesome because you need the weight as his skull. So his ability works for Mega Man, but at the same time, it could destroy him because you may need that yellow dice for something, which is pretty cool. Anywho, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll blue, blue, red, and then make that a yellow just so I can hopefully use the time lag to my advantage, depending on what happens. Helps with the 2 blues as well, because I need that for the first run. All right, cool, awesome. So that was a run, I'm sorry. So let's do that. Doesn't really matter. I accidentally knocked the yellow dice over. The reason I say it doesn't matter, because I'm going to spend, okay, so we got all that. See, I'm already jumping ahead, trying to see what I'm rushing through as the boss rush would be. Spending the jump here, plus the jump token to overcome this here, which is great. And because of that, the time lag kicks in, and that turns you to a double run. He would be great with the hyper bomb, because then I can just use that for it, which would be awesome. Let's go ahead to the next pattern, which is a jump and a shoot. I don't have either of those, but I'm going to go ahead and spend, nope, I'm going to spend the Ice Slasher, and I'm going to roll another blue in the hopes that I get a jump. I do not. I get a shoot, which really stinks. Let's, I'm going to spend the rolling cutter one, and I'm going to re-roll these 2 blues. Come on. Wow. The quadruple jump there. Let's go ahead and spend these 2 to finish up that one. Overcome. You're already a double, so thank you. And finally, shoot and a wait, which works great because I have the token here, boom, and I can spend this, and that covers that. Hurrah! And again, no item box, which means Protoman gets a health, which doesn't do him any good because he is already at full health, which is awesome. We like full health, especially going into the next round. Biggest mistake I'm making right now is I'm not utilizing my boost cards. I've completely forgot about the red boost card that Protoman had, and then the any colored dice that Rush had. I'm so used to single player, just using everything at once, that saving it and moving on throws me off. I'm also using too much weapon energy because I still have 2 more rounds of play to go through. Speaking of which, Protoman goes up against Fireman. Reroll a jump or suffer a damage. He has a jump for his skull, and he has to lose a weapon energy or a token, and then he needs a run or he suffers 1 damage. All right. Maybe I'll be able to use the last rolling cutter thing to get myself a token to avoid that. I guess we'll see what everybody has here. Protoman's cards are pretty well spread out. He has 1 of every color definitely here, so that'll be very helpful. And then I would probably just use this right for the number 01 skill. So, because, you know, just gaining more tokens is great. Yeah, this is really not that bad. I'm actually quite pleased with this particular draw. Rush is kind of also in the same boat. This is the last heal one here, so going into the final round with no ability to heal is kind of like scary. But at least Rush has transformation abilities in order to cover anything that he's missing. And then maybe if I put this in the skill, I'll actually use it. But I guess it really all depends on what Light's looking for. Don't know who Rush is going up against, but we know it's got to be either Bomb Man or Guts Man at this point. Or Alec Man. Alec Man's another one too. Got to remember that there are 4 Robot Masters left, 2 rounds to go. Here we are. So, lots of blue. Lots of blue. So we definitely know one of those is going to Protoman. Do I want to give the red to Rush? I think I actually do, because Protoman will probably end up giving... no, he won't be giving a blue to Rush, just because he has 1 blue that'll go to Light. To Rush will go either a red or a yellow. So then blue will have to be one of Rush's left support. Nope, that's not going to work either, because Light only needs 1 blue. All right, here we go. Puzzle aspect here. Which pieces fit together the best? All right, here's how the pieces laid down. I got a lot of blue going for Protoman. All 3 blue dice are being rolled in order to be able to compensate for the lingering fire. I only got 1 yellow running right here in order to hopefully pass that. But we'll see how the rest of it works. Rush, I just wanted to go for as much variety as possible. So this way he is ready to go when he goes up against one of the other Robot Masters. So here we go. Protoman, blue, 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 yellow. Let's go. Blue, 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 yellow. Let's not start taking damage now. We've been doing so well because we know these Robot Masters. They are chumps. They are goofy. We can easily beat them, and I like that. That's really good. All right, Protoman, engaging with Fireman here. I have to get rid of a weapon energy. I'm going to actually get rid of the one from the Thunder Beam here. You don't know how difficult this is the more that these pop up, because then it just saps away your power. So I need to reroll a jump. I'm going to actually reroll. I'm going to reroll this blue one right here because it gives me a jump in return, and I'm fine with that. I do need a run then in order to overcome this. So let's go ahead and spend this blue one so I can put it back in the pool to go here. That's 1. And number 2 is a shoot and a run. I don't have any of that, but let's use our number 01 skill here and see if we get a red. No, we get a yellow. We get a run token. So that's what that gives us. That doesn't help. I guess we might as well just grab the other 2 tokens while we're at it. So I'm going to spend this, and then I'm going to toss this blue here to gain a blue and a red token. Ooh, come back here. And I think I'm going to spend the red, and I got to spend the other yellow as well. And that finishes that one. So now we're on number 3, which is a shoot. Great. And then 2 of any one. So the good thing is I have the 2 of any one here, but I need the shoot. So let's roll this red dice right here and hope that we get a shoot. We do get a shoot. Oh man, that's great. And we do get a mystery box from that. So we'll spend those to overcome this. The mystery box it gives us is a health, which again, Protoman's at full health, so that doesn't matter, but that's less health Rush can get. And that finishes Protoman's run for Fireman. On to Rush. And Rush will be taking on Bomb Man. Each pattern card gains an additional damage, and he needs a jump and a shoot or else he loses 2 health. So let's go yellow, yellow, blue, red, and start up this round. Technically, this half of the round, because we did half with Protoman, and now we do half with Rush. All right, we got a run, we got a jump, and a shoot. So that works out pretty well. So I got to remember that Rush does have this, and he has the rescue. I'm going to immediately roll this red one right here, because he is engaged with the card, in order to be able to see what I get, and I get a double shoot. I'm going to hold on to that. I'm going to spend this jump and this shoot right here in order to overcome this. And then we flip this over for a jump and a skull. So that's a jump and a run, which we do have as well. So I'm going to go ahead and spend that to overcome this one. And for the third one, it's a run and a run. So I need a double run in order to be able to take that down. I'm going to roll a yellow dice here for this rescue ability. I have it. Let's just use it so I don't waste it. Yeah. And I get a single run, which doesn't really help. I really don't want to use any more weapon energy. Do I actually take a hit this time? No, because when Rush goes his second time, he is going to have to do 4 cards instead of 3, because he's going to be the last Robot Master going. Man, let's go ahead and spend. I don't want to spend, but I'm going to spend this weapon energy. Man, do I reroll both dice? I'm going to reroll both dice. Reroll, because that's going to be 3 damage right there. 3 damage to Rush. We got a shoot and a shoot. All right. Hyper bomb it is. Throwing a bomb back at Bomb Man. And we got 1 of each. I don't really want to spend any more weapon energy to get the other run. Ah, God, that stinks. So at this point, Rush is going to take 3 damage, and that's going to cover it. And because did I flip one? Oh, I didn't flip one. All right. But, so I get to flip a token, but because Protoman has been taking all the health, I get a run token. Are you kidding me? God, jeez. And I have no more weapon energy. Oh, this is going to be tough. This is going to be a tough one. Nope, I take that back. Rush will be fighting right now, whoever is below Bomb Man, and then Protoman will be taking on a character with 4 specials in it. But at least Rush, he has only 1 health left. I don't like that, but he has 1 special weapon energy. He has 2 tokens, and then whatever support Protoman can give, hopefully we'll be able to pass that. So I feel like if I can just beat this with Rush, I got it secure with Protoman. Rush is then going up against Gutsman, and his first card is lose the weapon energy or a token. Okay, that's a thing. And then turn all dice showing a single run to their jump face, and then of course shoot. So this may work out pretty good. And then, as I would suspect, there is no healing down here for Rush, but he does get an any dice, which is great. I can also give that to Protoman. And then he has a transform as well. So if I need to transform any type of run to gain a shoot and a jump, that's great. These I would definitely not put because he can't afford to take the damage, though I still think that self-inflicted damage should not drop your health to 0. So this he should be able to get, kind of, there's the other risk versus reward type deal. You're so far at the end of your health that you can still do this and give them, you don't die, but you're at 1 health. So that's Rush. And then for Protoman, I had to reshuffle his deck because I did the 0-1 thing in order to flip to get a token. So Reckless came out, this yellow Reckless, which actually is pretty good. I may now use this for Protoman, like put it in his right support, depending on what Light wants, to give Protoman the most amount of dice possible in order to take down that final Robot Master in the stack. Here we go. What does Dr. Light need? He has all the yellows for days, apparently. Oh boy. All right. So, definitely one of those yellows is going to Protoman. I will probably send that red over to Rush because Gutsman needs the shoot. Just trying to think what would be the best things to give Rush right now to make sure he survives. He has to survive 3 of those, of the cards in order to be able to successfully win this. So, I think I may be able to do this. I only have 1 weapon energy, so here's hoping. I'm really planning it out a lot for Protoman's main thing, protecting Rush. He can give him the yellow dice, which is great because he can always transform it if he needs it. Protoman can always defend himself with his Proto Shield out because he has his blue token there, pending he doesn't get any one of those. But he has plenty of weapon energy to get rid of and whatnot. So this, I think, is probably the best thing. Rush, you're going to start with red, red, blue, and yellow. I'm going to make that a yellow. So those are going to be Rush's first dice, and this is really the most tense part. So here we go. Go, Rush, go. All right. Red, red, blue, yellow. Okay. Oh, okay. Cool, cool, cool. This actually works out pretty good with the things that we got here. Gutsman thing doesn't activate whatsoever because there are no single runs here, and so that's it. We don't have to worry about Gutsman at all for the rest of this, like his special abilities. So now, I engage. I have to immediately discard a weapon energy or token. I'm going to discard this token here, this run token, and then I'm going to discard this red dice here to say you are beaten. So we're on to the next one. It is a jump and a... Okay, so it's a jump and then the shoot thing as well. We're going to roll this yellow dice right here. So if we can get a run, which we get a jump. I'm going to accept that. I'm going to accept this jump and I'm going to accept this shoot right here, which is number 2. My God, my heart's racing right now. 1, 2, 3. All right, it's a shoot. I need a double shoot. I need a double shoot, which I could do. I could do a double shoot. I can spend Rush's last weapon energy to put this down here, and even though I prevent 1 damage, I don't care, because I'm going to spend these 2, and Rush is able to overcome this, which is great. He beats Gutsman right by the skin of his doggy teeth. He does get a thingy, a run token back. That's great. That means nothing. I just do it just for consistency, whatever. And that means Protoman's turn is the final turn in the boss rush. Okay, here we go. Elec Man, final boss in the boss rush, and as you can see here, there are 4 boss rush patterns left. Protoman has to go through all 4 in order to complete this challenge. And it starts with a jump and an overcome, and when you suffer 1 or more damage, you discard a Ace weapon energy. That is wonderful. So as you can see here, we got all of this. So I'm going to need a bunch of doubles here in order to get, I do have the jump, which is fine. I think I'm going to make this a blue. So I have red, red, blue, yellow, blue. And I think that will be good because we also have another yellow here in the boost. And then I can also reduce 2 damage and then a few other things I can do. So here we go. I also have 1 special weapon energy on the rolling cutter, which means I can roll any dice I want. And that might be my advantage. All right, no doubles, which is a little upsetting. But I do have the requirements for the first card. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do... Yes, yeah. Okay, yeah, I am going to do that. So I am going to take the jump and the 2 shoots here, and I'm going to use those in order to overcome this. I get an early mystery box, which is awesome. Don't be health. Special weapon energy. That's great. We're going to put that right onto the rolling cutter. This may have just completely won the game for me. So we're going to do that, and we're going to flip. Here we go again. We got another one of these. Man, he's gonna be a pain, isn't he? So I'm gonna roll this yellow here. We'll put this into his discard pile. We'll go up here and we'll roll. Okay, we get a run. All right, so we have a shoot, a jump, and a run. I am going to then spend 2 weapon energy. I'm going to spend 1 for the rolling cutter and 1 for the ice slasher to roll a blue for the ice slasher and another blue because we need those jumps for the rolling cutter as its weakness ability. So I can roll anything I want because of the cutting symbol. And we get a shoot and a jump. So that means I can actually pass that. I lose my jump token, but I think I should be all right. So I'm going to spend these 2 and this in order to pass this one. And I do get another mystery box. You can still collect them if they're on the cards. Another weapon energy back. That's really cool. That's, again, going to go right on to the rolling cutter. Next, we didn't see any 3 damage at all through this. Oh my God. Ugh. All right, we got a lot of stuff to our advantage here that we can use. So what I'm going to do is I have this already. I have a run. That was a single run. And I have 2 of any symbol. So I'm going to actually use the remaining of my dice in order to go ahead and pass this, which again will give me another mystery token, which happens to be health, so it really doesn't do anything for me whatsoever. And the final card of the boss rush is a jump. I just need a jump, and I have to get rid of something. So I'm going to toss this special weapon energy. We don't need that. And I don't have any more dice, so I'm going to go ahead and just spend these 3 weapon energy just for the heck of it, because I can, because I'd like Protoman to go with this unscathed. Yeah. Do I get a jump at all? I get a double jump, which is more than satisfied for me. So we'll spend this to finish up, and just like that, all 8 Robot Masters have been defeated once again, using the knowledge that we had from them previously in order to go through them. Just, you know it's slightly easier, but you don't know what their patterns are going to be. Oh man, Jesus. Oh, that was a thing. That was good. That was really good. So there you have it, everyone. That is how I handled the boss rush in Mega Man Adventure, with the ability to go through every Robot Master, fight them. You could actually do it in any order you want. I shuffled them up and put them down so I didn't know who was coming next. It just made the planning a little bit more exciting because you had no idea what the next player would have to deal with. And I think that made for a little bit more of an exciting challenge. Rush almost went down. Protoman did super well on it, which is very surprising and awesome and everything. But as you can see, I think it works out better because in the game, once you go up against the Robot Masters again in the boss rush, you already know them. You already have their weaknesses. You've beaten them once. You could do it again. And that's kind of what I was going for this boss rush. I didn't want to make it a cakewalk, easy just to go through and knock down everything. But it wasn't supposed to be like a super hard challenge either. The wily bosses, because I'm really not doing anything different with them other than fighting them all, that's going to be interesting, and that's going to be in the next one. Thank you, Scott Eden, again for creating the Time Man and Oil Man fan-made expansion. This really helped with the boss rush because you really do need 8 Robot Masters in order to make it all work. And yes, these two did appear I mentioned in the Gutsman video, Mega Man powered up for the PSP, Chibi Mega Man powered up. But they never had any type of 8-bit release or any other release outside of that, other than I believe in the comic books. There was like a special edition for them. So it was fun to have them thrown into the mix, and then you can actually see what they do. You saw what their stages are like as well. So I highly recommend, if you have this game, when you get this game, because everyone should get this game, download this, print them out, and have some fun with it. He also has, like I said, some special weapon cards, including what he calls EX cards, which helps for younger players. They're abilities that you give to specific characters in order to just make it easier. Like Protoman, you give him a special weapon, an additional special weapon that spend 1 weapon energy, reduce 1 damage. It's basically his Proto Shield. He can do it anytime. So really cool additions, especially to help any younger players play this with you, or if you just want an easier run. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me as I go through Mega Man Adventures. One more left against Wily and his various bosses, so be sure to tune into that, which is the next episode after this, the finale of Mega Man 1. Let me know what you thought of the boss rush down in the comments below, what you would change, what you would add, what you would subtract. Maybe if I ever do Mega Man 2 and 3, crossing fingers, that your suggestions would go into creating a better boss rush. As a family, we will be able to make it work. We will make it perfect and balanced and all that good stuff. So until then, I say take care of each other. We are family forever, gaming together. I can't wait to hear your suggestions, comments, and everything. And until next time, later.